Mobile games have definitely had a regression of sorts in recent years.
Hello.
In its infancy, they used to offer insane amounts of creativity and simple ideas that were fun and intuitive with a touchscreen. Well, that's in terms of later smartphones, as older phone games could be still preferable to what we have now. In the age of the 2020s, we now have more common gambling-based and cheap shovelware games flooding the App Store, and especially secondary stores like Google Play or Microsoft Store being filled with just as much, if not more. Hell, it feels like Apple in particular know this model is a thing and take advantage of it, throwing every actual quality game onto their Apple Arcade service to charge a subscription for the App Store's best content. Content that doesn't require to be forking money over half the time to even play anything. It's during all of this that even just one game made out of passion and not locked behind some paywall can stand out and feel absolutely miraculous. And if you want a game like that, well, tough luck, because I have 3 to talk about. Caramel Column Inc. This is an independent development company located in Tokyo, Japan that is largely headed by 2 people, Mayu Nakano, the sole programmer of the company and the main localizer, and the president and founder, Maki Ono. They were first established June 2nd, 2014, and have created several notable works from then to now, focusing mainly on mobile game development. I can imagine they found it difficult to do any major work without being pushed to the sidelines if they focused on any other avenue, and mobile games were simple enough to get across that would be an easy way to get their ideas out there. Hell, porting one of their most popular games to Switch has been such a rigorous process that it's still in development, even after being announced back in 2019. So, what exactly did they create on mobile? Well, their first project was a level-based puzzle game that was pretty well suited to mobile in that way. You played as a funny-looking office worker in an office full of other weird co-workers, and had to do certain things to help make his work less stressful. I did get to play this one back when it was available, but it was recently delisted, and only this trailer and board game tie-in exists now, so that's a shame. However, the next notable project of theirs would become their most popular, gaining a small but passionate fanbase. Alter Ego was announced and released in August 2018 in Japan, and for the first time got an English release a while later, translated completely in-house too, which often causes the English versions to take a while to come out. But eventually it did, and they even did some small promotion for it with a live-action Japanese commercial and some YouTube ads, which is how most in the West even discovered this game, myself included. I was struck by how different it was to ads around that time, not showing fake gameplay or trying to sell you on something beyond what it actually offers. It felt real. So what is Alter Ego? Well, the concept is very simple. It's a clicker game that tasks you with collecting a certain amount of ego points from these word bubbles, and you spend them on reading books. If you're most familiar with Cookie Clicker, books are basically the cookie factories in that they produce ego over time by a certain amount, increasing the more you spend to read through them. The point of the game is self-discovery, and every book and word bubble is based around this idea, each being something that looks at self-perception and the thoughts we often have about ourselves. But unlike other clicker games, the ultimate goal isn't just to watch numbers go up, as there is a separate thing to use ego on. These are special story events where you get to talk to a character named S, the poster character and the fandom's favorite. She resides at this place separate from all reality and is tasked with talking to you and asking questions to help you understand yourself. Though, ironically, you find out a lot more about S through these conversations than you might expect. You find she's a highly flawed individual who despises of being holding her here, often looking to you for validation for her feelings. However, deep down, she wonders if her issues are why she's trapped here, surrounded by nothing but books. She herself is also a character who must find self-discovery, and most players who already deal with their own similar problems usually find themselves enjoying talking to her and trying to guide her down the right path. This was a very intentional choice, as Maki Ono described S as a character he created in his younger years, imagining himself conversing with her to pass the time. In fact, the lifeblood of many projects by Caramel Column is the creativity of Maki Ono himself. He not only comes up with many of these concepts, but also provides most of the artwork seen in them, having a versatile art style that creates a unique experience on each one. I highly recommend checking out Alter Ego if my description interested you. It's a beautiful game that spoke to me when I first played it years ago. One of the best parts of it is that no payment is necessary unless you want to remove ads or unlock bonus content after beating the game. This is largely their business model, creating an experience largely available for free, but asking for a bit more for extra content that's worth getting just to support creators. Not to mention, after Alter Ego became a fan favorite, the team put out a special bonus game for those who want more Alter Ego content in the form of Alter Ego Complex. I won't spoil what it is, but it's a nice treat for those who beat the original. Last note I wanted to end on for this game was its soundtrack. While their first title had interesting music. Caramel Comb brought on Japanese singer-songwriter Amiko to provide the music for the game, and she created some tracks that just put you into a trance and make the game's atmosphere feel palpable. They're amazing. I cannot imagine this game or complex without her talents. So, what did they create next? Well, it's a game called Insectarium Alternative March. What the hell does that mean? This was the next project by a team, and a big change from the chill vibes of Alter Ego. You play as an unnamed employee in a facility made to examine and evaluate these strange creatures. You do this by choosing whichever worker you think has the best method of appealing to it. But you need to be careful, as any wrong decisions angers them and will eventually cause them to attack. Whether you get through it unscathed or not will determine the endings you get throughout each act of the game, and every worker you collaborate with has a ton of their own dialogue and thoughts on each creature. This helps you gain insight into their personalities and the overall situation you're stuck in. This includes the woman in charge who you converse with in between each main operation. This game's style is also excellent. Every character has such striking designs, and sort of chromatic aberration effect makes it feel otherworldly. The music is just as interesting, this time being composed by Mina Keke. There's only about 2 songs, After Age and Legendary, but both do well at fitting the more bleak atmosphere the game has. Yet again, definite recommendation. This was actually the game that took the longest to translate. Its English release coming out very recently, but the third game they've released was quite the opposite. Aznana is Caramel Comb's most recent release, and it's a return to the familiar clicker formula that got them popular. But this time the game has a far different structure. The story is about a boy living in this drab, filthy town all by himself when he finds a disembodied head named Aznana. This adorable girl, somehow living as just a head, has no idea where she is and encourages the boy to try and leave this town to find out what lies outside of it. But to do this, they need money. And lots of it. So the entire game is based on picking up trash around town to make money in a basic clicker style, but the way you make more money is by bartering. By buying items from shops and selling them to other shop owners, this helps to increase your profits and helps these funny looking people with their issues. It's a game that I can only describe as being insanely cute, and while I haven't gone far enough in myself, I hear this game has just as much of that depth that past Caramel Comb games are known for, hiding beneath its surface. Match that with the great music by Kanon Wakashima, and you have a game that I yet again recommend. You must understand, I love this company to bits. Caramel Comb recently did a rebranding and started branching out from purely mobile development. Their next game is set to release via Steam soon, and I will definitely be checking it out by then. It looks insanely psychedelic and I love it. As a message to Maki Ono and Mayu Nakano, thank you. You both single-handedly create some of the best content available on mobile simply by creating insanely simple concepts with tons of love, passion, and care for the art of game development. Even if it's hard developing these titles with minimal returns, know that me and every other Caramel Comb fan are willing to support you to the end. Your creative expression means everything to us. Once again, thank you. So, moral of the story, play these games or I'll haunt you with fleas.